DIYers, as many of you have probably seen from wherever you are at in the world, it has been a lot going on in Los Angeles. And although this particular YouTube is not dedicated to news, and you probably won't be seeing this guy's face too often over here, a lot of voices have been speaking out in support of the protests that are happening in LA. Some of those being Vic Mensa, the group Coyote, who I had the chance to meet, The Game, and Tyler, the Creator. I want to make sure that we get some context about what exactly is happening. Protests are continuing in Los Angeles for a third straight day. You might have heard them being referred to as ICE protests on social media. They began on Friday after immigration agents from ICE made dozens of arrests across the city over alleged immigration violations. On Sunday, 300 National Guard troops were also deployed to guard a federal detention center in downtown Los Angeles where those arrested were being held. Now, coming up in LA, and all the different places I've been in, going to Paramount High, I have so many Latino homies and so many folks that put me on about their culture and were open ears when I talked about my culture to them. Shout out to my dog, Masay Wow. When I see stuff like this, I'm reminded that anything that affects one minority group, you might want to pay attention to it, especially if it's in your backyard, because when you're dealing with the government, you never quite know when it's going to meet your front door. ICE, which stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is a law enforcement agency under the Department of Homeland Security. It's responsible for enforcing the country's immigration laws. I don't know what particular foundation this video, when it lives the day that it comes out, is going to be for, but make sure you go check it out for, I'm sure, a foundation that is for the humane rights of those affected by the action going on. It says, why are these arrests being protested? It is not common for ICE to arrest people it believes that are in the U.S. illegally. But this spat of arrests comes as part of the Trump administration's controversial immigration crackdown. Mr. Trump has vowed to deport record numbers of illegal immigrants during his second term, and the White House has set ICE a goal to arrest at least 3,000 migrants each day. And if you've been seeing any of the stuff I've been seeing on my timeline, you're talking about, just from a human empathy level, kids who were born here, seeing their parents randomly get picked up by folks who are not even uniformed. They just literally look like they some fucking people that go to the woods and cut down trees, getting picked up and put into vans. The arrest raids were also carried out in a public manner, which Los Angeles Karen Bass said would sow terror in the community. They occurred at a hardware store where street vendors and day laborers were swept up, a garment factory, and a warehouse. I am deeply angered by what has taken place, says Karen Bass. I know this is a topic, especially when you're dealing with anything that is political, that will sow a lot of opinions. And I've seen all of them come across my timeline, especially some of my folks too, who are like, ain't my problem. You know what I'm saying? What was they doing when it was us? From a humane level, fam. From someone, like I said, who lives out here, who my experience may be very different from wherever you're from. Latinos that have opened up their doors to me, looked out for me at times where I didn't have anything. There have been folks who have looked out for me when the population was like 2 or 3% black, and I went to Paramount High, and they was like, I'm going to tell you what they saying over there. Be careful. It's a little crazy over there, Curtis. Move smoothly. So when I think about my homies and I think about my homegirls that are being affected by this in their family, I can't help but, from a human level, feel empathy. Vic Mensa talks a little bit about this, and I agree with a lot of what he has to say. He says, why should our folks care about ICE? He says, solidarity is strength, common enemy, common goal. Let me hear what he had to say.
The same oppressor that exploits the African abuses the Latino. And please believe if they could figure out how to deport niggas, they've been trying since the Emancipation Proclamation. The same enemy has used these same methods to divide, devalue, and destroy. Common enemy, common goal. The same corporations that run the ICE detention centers run the state and federal prisons, where our people are doing slave labor for 13 cents an hour. Those same corporations abduct and hold Palestinians in Israel. And not only are the same riot police deployed against blacks and Latinos, they receive training, information, and technology from the IOF. Historically, we were snatched from the shores of Africa and brought to Central and South America. Don't be fooled into believing this struggle is not ours. They come for you in the night, they'll come for me in the morning. So shit, inshallah, the Latinos in Los Angeles County really unify, because there's 4.5 million of them. 2,000 National Guard. Fuck they gonna do with 5 million people?
Hello. Shout out to Vince.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth.
Give me Vic. Shout out to Vic Mensa. It's dope to see that we're in a time period where if you want to become an artist, if you want to be an artist with a voice, you can't ignore what's going on. right? We're kind of coming out of a time where people could play it safely, be quiet, and then shit just boils over and then they pop out with new music without having to say anything. No, just like the millennials that are going on websites of brands that they support and they go into that one tab that says foundations that we give to or things that we support, millennials are looking for something different. That's why it's dope to see artists like Coyote. I finally met this great duo. We reacted to their music when they did a song with Ab Soul. Meeting them in person, really cool ass dudes. The album that they released is phenomenal. I had a chance to listen to it on the way back from that Culture United event. But yeah, they came out and supported, and I want to make sure that I show some love to this video. They actually dropped it 3 days ago. Product of Immigration by Coyote. Check this out.
My father was born in the era when green cards wasn't gave to the Mexicans at Whole Foods, buying fruit to better my health. But they looking at me like I probably picked them cherries myself. But don't feel bad for my people, they call us wetbacks illegals. We crossed the Rio Grande and claimed the land they stole from my people, cause we've been forced to believe we bottom feeders and thieves. But the truth is that we native to the land of the free. But ain't no brainwashing me. My dad was raised in the streets. He learned to build a house from scratch but never learned how to read. And then my grandmama daughter, she was like 8 when she brought her. Escaped the murder and slaughter to get some shelter and water. And now I'm first generation, product of immigration. I'm a wetback, I'm a beaner, I'm an illegal alien. And now I'm first generation, product of immigration. I'm a wetback, I'm a beaner, I'm an illegal alien. So what? Ice, 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 baby. Ice, 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 baby. Yeah. Ice, 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 baby. Burn in hell. Ice, 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 baby.
The shirt says America was built by immigrants. Man, one thing I'm gonna say about hip hop.
Somebody gonna have to tell it tonight.
No matter what group you represent, no matter what you represent, there is not a more powerful device to get a reaction and to get eyes and ears on what's going on outside of the spoken word. There's not a more powerful device than hip hop, especially when it's able to hit you at a place where you know it's from a place of passion, you know it's from a place of relatability. I love to see that we're in an era where the idea of political music, which for some people, you know, they look at that as like, oh, you're just preaching to us. It's like, no, these are directly reflecting stories that are happening on a daily that you can't get away from if you tried, because it's all over the news. It's all over any media that you consume. That being said, here's a few folks that have come out, in support. I'm gonna just say this one thing about the game. I know we've reacted to some of the stuff he's done on here, and we scratched our head, right? Just some of the stuff is just like, why you say that? One thing that has been consistent about this brother is that he does show up. He showed up in the LA fires. He showed up, and he's gonna always make sure that he puts out a message in solidarity. He got on Instagram. And it says the game voiced support for LA protesters as tensions escalate. He says people in Los Angeles have been protesting for days in response to recent ICE's recent immigration raids in the city. The game has voiced support for protesters in Los Angeles amid another day of demonstrators clashing with authorities over the latest sweeping immigration raids in the city. Taken to his Instagram page on Monday, he shared a message for his hometown. He said, "Ever since I can remember, it's been black and brown in the city. Same. From the early days of my childhood to now, we've been side by side through it all of us, all the time. Not always seeing eye to eye, but we've shared Los Angeles for a very long time." Game captioned a series of black and white photos from the protests. "I stand with y'all like I know you'd stand with us. We might fight against each other. This is also true. I was in high school and middle school, and I seen race riots. So I see it from a lot of different perspectives that you may or may not even know about me. But I promise you this, we'll burn this bitch down. Don't get us pissed. To live and die in LA." Shout out to him. Fans in the comments section have been showing love to the game for speaking up. Meanwhile, Snoop Dogg entertaining the king. "Thanks for using your platform," one user wrote. So he's not the only one, man. Shout out to Tyler, the Creator. Yeah, like I said, it's dope to see folks that you wouldn't normally associate with it, right? Because like it says here, Tyler, the Creator may be a funny man, but like many other artists, he often uses his platform to address larger and far more serious issues. Per Billboard, he joined The Game and Kehlani and Phineas as many other artists opposing the United States Immigration and Customs Agency's ICE recent LA raids. He said he used a scene from Paid in Full, and it says, "Let me tell you something, little man. F ICE." The character Mitch stated, "Don't be listening to ICE. ICE ain't no real man." That's what he put up on there. So you seeing folks that are showing solidarity. It is crazy in the city, and even though I don't live in LA, damn it, I was there for, and I don't want to call this riots. It is definitely a pushback in an uprising that is going on, and it's a lot of folks affected by it. But I was there for the '92 riots, and let me tell you, the '92 riots was not a mother effer to play with. It is something I will forever, even though I was 7 years old, I will remember vividly being by the courthouse when they announced that all the officers were found not guilty. Remember going back to the car, and I remember seeing the first trash can from somebody by the courthouse going to a gas station that was closed for the night because they already knew. And I saw somebody throw a trash can through the glass, and I saw the amount of anger and passion. And although I was scared damn near to shit on myself, I didn't. Thank God I didn't. My pops recalls me asking him, like, could he explain to me what was it that I was missing as a 7-year-old, because I wanted to know why they were so angry and what I could do. He said that's what he heard in my voice when I asked him about it. And so when I see anybody out there putting their life on the line, right, putting their daily task on the line, stopping their life to acknowledge it, or even go out there and fight on the front line, you got nothing but the utmost respect and solidarity. I wish y'all all the best, and folks that are affected by it. It's tough out here, man. It is crazy out here. But DIYers, those are some of the things that I saw in here. Those are some of my thoughts. I would love to hear some of your thoughts on the matter. DIYers. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.